Every day is a new opportunity to change your life. Good morning, children. Nowadays we are learning reproduction in plants. Previous class we learnt asexual reproduction, sexual reproduction, parts of a flower, structure of the ovule, pollination and its types, advantages and disadvantages we have seen. Today we are going to learn agents of pollination. Different agents are there. Agents of pollination, process of fertilization, significance of fertilization and post-fertilization changes. Now let us see agents of cross-pollination. In order to bring about cross-pollination, it is necessary that the pollen should be carried from one flower to another of a different plant. So this takes place through agency of animals, insects, wind and water. Now let us see pollination by wind. Pollination with the help of the wind is called anemophily. The anemophilous flowers means the flowers which are pollinated by wind are called anemophilous flowers. So the anemophilous flowers produce enormous amount of pollen grains. The pollen grains are small, smooth, dry and light in weight. Pollen of such plants are blown off at a distance of more than 1000 kilometers. The stigma, what do you mean by stigma? Stigma is the female reproductive part. It is one of the part of the gynoecium. The stigmas are comparatively large, protruding and sometimes hairy to trap the pollen grains. For example, in grasses and some cacti. Okay, now let us pass on to pollination by insects. Pollination with the help of insects like honeybees, flies are called entomophily. To attract insects, these flowers are brightly colored, have sweet smell and nectar. Nectar is nothing but honey. The pollen grains are larger in size. The exine is pitted. Pitted means small pores are there and spiny. So they can be adhered. Adhered means stick. Stick firmly on the sticky stigma. And approximately 80% of the pollination done by the insects is carried by mostly honeybees. Next we pass on to pollination by water. The pollination with the help of water is called hydrophily. This takes place in aquatic plants. Aquatic plants means plants which are living in the water are called aquatic plants. Pollen grains are produced in large numbers. Pollen grains float on the surface of the water till they land on the stigma of female flowers. These two are the characteristic feature of a flower which are pollinated by water. Example, Hydrilla and Vallisneria. Next we pass on to pollination by animals. When pollination takes place with the help of animals, it is called zoophily. Flowers of such plants attract animals by their bright color, size, scent, etc. Example, sunbird pollinates flowers of canna and gladioli. You will be able to see in the videos. Squirrels pollinate flowers of silk cotton tree. Now let us pass on to fertilization in plants. Children, when we learn fertilization, we should remember the structure of the embryo sac. Inside the embryo sac, there are 8 cells that you know already. The previous class I taught. Pollen grains reach the right stigma and begin to germinate. Then pollen grain forms a small tube-like structure called pollen tube, which emerges through the germ pore. The contents of the pollen grain move into the tube. Then the pollen tube grows through the tissues of the stigma and style and finally reaches the ovule through the micropyle. Also you learnt about vegetative cell and the generative cell. Vegetative cell and generative cells are there in the pollen grain. Then the vegetative cell degenerates and the generative cell divides to form two male gametes. So, from where this male gametes come from? Male gametes come from the generative cell. Generative cell divides into two to form two male gametes. Then the tip of the pollen tube bursts and the male gametes are liberated and they come and reaches the embryo sac. They enter into the embryo sac. One sperm fuses or one male gamete fuses with the egg. The fusion of one male gamete or first male gamete with the egg is called syngamy and forms a diploid zygote. Diploid means what? N plus N. 2n is called diploid. The other two sperms, the second sperm or second male gamete fuses with the secondary nucleus. What do you mean by secondary nucleus? Polar nuclei is there in the center, this polar nuclei fuse together to form secondary nucleus. So, the second male gamete fuses with the secondary nucleus to form primary endosperm nucleus, which is triploid. Why it is triploid? Because three cells are joined together to one male gamete and secondary nucleus, that is two polar nuclei. So it is triploid in nature. Since two types of fusion, syngamy and triple fusion, takes place in an embryo sac, the process is termed as double fertilization. Okay, then after triple fusion, primary endosperm nucleus develops into an endosperm. Endosperm is nothing but inside the seed a portion is there, it is called the endosperm. Then endosperm provides food to the developing embryo. So, the developing embryo is nourished by the endosperm. Then later, the synergids and the antipodals degenerates. Okay, now let us pass on to significance of fertilization. It stimulates the ovary to develop into a fruit. Then it helps in development of new characters from two different individuals. Then post-fertilization changes. The ovule develops into a fruit. The integuments of the ovule develop into the seed coat. Then the ovary enlarges and develops into a fruit. Then the seed contains the future plant or embryo which develops into a seedling under the appropriate condition. Children, now you see this video. A flower slowly blooms and you will be able to see androecium and gynoecium. And now this ovary is going to become the fruit. And inside the ovary, what is there? Ovules are there. Then ovule develops into seed. And the integuments of the ovule develops into the seed coat. And ovary enlarges and becomes the, see, now you see, a ovary enlarges and becomes the fruit. And this is actually the formation of fruit from flower. This is actually the fruit, actually the blackberry, how blackberry fruit is formed from the flower. Children, now we come to the end of the class. Now I am going to give some questions as homework. This is worksheet number 8. Write the characteristic features of insect pollinated flowers. What is meant by entomophily? What is syngamy? What is double fertilization? Write the significance of fertilization. Explain the process of fertilization. Okay, children. Thank you, children.